So let me just preface by saying, if you clicked on this video expecting to see a car get crushed by a tree, that's not what happens, nor do I have any footage of that happening. Although I will say a car does get crushed by a tree that I was supposed to have taken down. So if you're curious as to what happens and you want to hear the story, at the end of this video I explain what ended up happening in this particular situation. This is a first for me as a tree guy, so I think the video pertains especially to tree guys, but it's interesting nonetheless how this all played out. So we'll pick up at the job right now and I'll explain kind of the layout and what's going on here. Thanks for joining me. We're actually in Green Bay today for a property management company I do some tree work for. We got this whole row of declining / dead box elders, and I quoted them on a pile of these, but they just wanted the real critical ones down for now. So this is one real crispy, kind of hanging up over where they park the cars. Of course, we planned this well in advance, and one of the tenants left their cars here, so what do you tree guys do? Charge them extra for that or not? I don't know. I can do most of the work, but there's this one that's, you know, up here, and then the car's right here. Of course, I'd rather just have no liability involved, but I don't know. This is like an hour drive from my house, so I kind of want to get the work done. So that's the first one that's critical. And then there's a clump of like 4 stems. And I'll probably just take the ones leaning this way for now. But then this one's pretty crispy at the top too, so I don't know. They only wanted me to do 3. I think definitely that's 1. Probably this should be 2 right here with the dead tops. And then I might just count these 3 stems as 1. I'm just gonna give them this cluster as 1, and I think that'll be good enough. So the plan is we'll just get everything on the ground. I'll get everything staged, then we'll just start the chipper once and chip away. Yeah, this sure would be nice to have this car moved. I think what I'll do is I'll start on that group back there because this car is not in the way, and hopefully the property management can get a hold of this car and get them to move it. At this point I got them blocked in. You'll have to just pull forward into the grass, but there's always buckthorn aplenty. All right. Pretty dry. Guess I'm gonna run this way. It's gonna be a little bit forward as it goes. There you go, 1 down. Really crispy. Probably should bore cut this one. Let's do a baby face in it. I don't know. All right, I think we're through. Oh, come on. How do we do that? Hung on better than I thought. Not bad. I think I will just throw a rope in this one. That way I can pull it out of this one kind of in front. But I do think this one wants to go first. That way this one I can really turn and kind of send towards the corner there, away from the car. And this one's got mostly weight into this tree to the right. So yeah, I think if we just get into that union there with a rope, then I can just face cut it, block it up, and I'll just yank it over. So let's go grab a rope. Not really much to tie off on here, is there? I think I'll go around one of these stumps slash the fence. Okay, it's not real tight. Hopefully we got it cut enough there. It's pretty dry. A little bit more than I wanted to pull. I left a pretty fat hinge on that far side. This one's actually got some life left in it. That's nice. Definitely holds better when it's alive. So yeah, we can't get a hold of this guy with this car. So what I'm thinking, as it lays, I don't have room. We're gonna hit the comm wires. My original plan was to put a rope in it. I just need it to turn a little bit, because if you use the kind of the concrete driveway as your reference point, you can see that these comm lines are at an angle away. So the more we send the tree that way, of course, the more room we have. And basically, I have enough room to drop it right where this car is at, and that was my original plan. I don't need it to turn too much. But of course, with the car here, now I have to come up with a different plan. I can't just send it. I debated, trying a face cut and a back cut with my pole saw from the ground. That's still a big top to come down, and as you see, this stuff is exploding. I'm a little bit nervous of how close it is and the shrapnel going back into the car. So I guess my plan is I'll just start chipping this stuff up. Maybe the chipper will wake this guy up and he can move his car. All I need him to do is move his car forward at this point, and then we're good to go. So we'll see. I think at this point, worst case scenario, I just have to bounce from it. I'm on my way home now. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that one tree down. Couldn't get a hold of the dude who owns that car. I ran the chipper, ran chainsaws, knocked on his door like 20 times and nothing. So he's either not there or a real deep sleeper. Which if it's the latter, hopefully that place never starts on fire, because that poor dude ain't waking up for it. So we'll just have to come back for that tree. I told the property management company that I deal with that I'll just have to come back. Ultimately, I don't want to come back for one tree, so hopefully we can schedule it with another job or something. But we got a pretty good system coming of rain. So it's Friday, just before noon. Probably gonna call it for the day and call it for this video. I do appreciate y'all taking the time out of your busy schedules to hang out with me on this quick little job. Unfortunately, it wasn't as lucrative as I was hoping for, but that's kind of the way it works in the tree world sometimes. So wherever you all are at, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Dark that way. It's like the 5th airplane that's flown over since I've pulled up here. We live like 3 miles from the local airport right here. We get all kinds of small plane traffic. So I get a text from the property manager. His name's Pete, a couple days after I finished that job. And we had a few storms that had gone through, nothing real major. But he texts me, Pete goes, "Hey dude, I'm sorry I'm out on vacation right now and sorry to bother you, but that one tree that we couldn't take down because the car was in the way fell on a car at that property." So here, literally 2 days later, after working on these trees, the one that I had told him was the highest priority and that I knew was really dead and sketchy, then did go ahead and fall on somebody's car as it was parked in the parking lot. Like, what are the chances? In a way, that tree's been up for probably a few years at least, dead like that, I would think. And then a few days after I finish the work, the tree falls on somebody else's car. In a way, unfortunately, it wasn't the car of the dude that had left it there. It was a different tenant's car that it had fallen on. So I didn't ask him for any pictures or anything, but apparently it fell on the front side, smashed the windshield, dented the hood, and ripped the bumper off of the car, according to Pete. So it did pretty significant damage to the car, and you saw it was just quite a small tree. So I guess in a way it's good that I didn't touch the tree. I was apprehensive of going on the tree. I knew it was really crispy dead. So at first I was like, hopefully they're not going to come after me for anything, but I was reassured by the thought that I literally never even touched the tree. There was no way that they could have come after me for any damages on that particular tree. And here I was the guy telling them it needed to come down, and that was probably the tree that was the highest priority because it was leaning out into the parking lot where people park their cars, of course. Thankfully, they're all cool with it. And now they're wanting me to go back to that job and take out the rest of them, of course. But I beg the question, who is really at fault in all this? You could argue I'm at fault a little bit as the tree guy. I should have been able to get the tree down when I was there. My rebuttal to that is I was probably a little stubborn in my frustration with the fact that the car wasn't moved, and all these tenants were warned weeks in advance that I was coming that day. So not really a huge excuse there. Could I have got real technical and got that tree down? Yes, I could have. I actually probably could have climbed up in the tree next to it with a pole saw and slashed it down from there. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't really feel like it's, for the price I gave them, worth it for me to assume the extra liability with the car being there, right? Or am I off in left field on that? You guys let me know. So then you could say, well, it's the property manager's fault because he should have maybe given them an update text the night before. I don't know if he did or not, but I know for sure, at least trusting Pete's word, that he did tell the tenants that they were all supposed to move. So unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's kind of some of the blame resides on the tenant, right, that didn't move their car when they were supposed to, but also the property owner because he let the trees go like so long dead. You know, had that tree been more alive, we would have had a lot of other options with it, but it was so crispy that certainly wasn't climbing up there. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I do feel bad that unfortunately another tenant's car got smashed in the whole deal. Anybody else with any similar experiences, please let me know how you handled it in the comments. I'm legitimately interested in knowing your circumstances and situations. That is going to be the end of the video. I really appreciate you sticking it out and listening to me blabber on about this all. If you made it this far, I do appreciate a like and subscribe. Certainly helps the channel out. And we'll catch you all on the next one.